All right, walking on this beautiful Monday afternoon, carrying my sledgehammer, doing shoulder work as I go to get a day bag for my new longboard. Was having a back and forth with a Zoom client through an email, and he had brought up how he has his plan for what we tested on the day we met, and he's running with it. Then he stumbled upon breaking a hand, and we were just chatting about what's next, what to do, what's the approach. And it brought up an amazing point I want to convey and communicate to you, because I guarantee you, either one, nobody's let you believe what I'm about to say, and two, you never experienced it. And three, nobody around you is going to be doing it, because everyone, for the most part, is just on this sinking ship of health and fitness and naturopathic medicine and healing and all these other business models that are just thriving, but on the fact that you're sinking. So think of this. Let's take a broken hand, for instance. What would I do? Or how would I approach it in my practice or personally? Well, you more than likely went, I wouldn't, but you more than likely went and got imaging done, and they saw that you broke XYZ and called it a boxer's fracture, or called it a blah, blah, blah. And you broke it. What's up, man? They're going to put on a cast, either a soft cast or a day, whatever the fucking cast that exists now. But they're going to mobilize it. They're going to mobilize it so that the bone sets. And then they're going to tell you to do absolutely nothing, or protect it, or be careful with it. Sorry about that. Be careful with it for the next 4 to 6 weeks, then you come back and we'll check it out. And even if maybe they're like, do things modified, like you can jog, you can bike, they'll give you all those because everybody thinks that those are forms of training. And that's another thing, like that you just know they're not training. If a doctor's visit tells you to walk, hike, bike, jog, or swim as a form of training, you really know that it's not training, but they're representations of skills because of your training. But they are not training, per se, how I describe it. And we'll just keep continuing to prove that. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your hand in your cast, or your limb in your cast, and you'll go home and you'll protect it. You'll do absolutely nothing. And then what happens to the state of the body? Bones heal. You could do jack shit and a bone's going to heal. It's just what it does. What's up, man? That's what bones do, and they will heal stronger than what they did before. But there's still going to be a charge. The cause of broken bones is still the same as the cause of all injuries, acute, chronic, whatever. The body's inability to absorb force. Force absorbers are muscles body wide. So the reason force went into the bone, breaking it, was because your musculature did not do its job effectively from toes to thumbs. So in your cast now, what would I do? Instead of resting, instead of protecting it, instead of being sort of depressed, which is a beautiful, beautiful emotion to experience when you get injured, instead of being afraid, which is another beautiful emotion to experience when you get injured, all these things are beautiful and natural and they're supposed to happen. I go, okay, what can I move on this injured limb? Can I wiggle my fingers? Yes. Wiggle my thumb? Yes. Is the cast so high that I can't bend my elbow? Yes, it is. Great. Go to the next joint up. Can I move my shoulder? Yeah. Great. Then I've got it. I've got hand action I can do, and I've got shoulder work I can do. Plus, the rest of my body is going to be on. Actually, we got to train it even harder and even more diligent and consistent with a greater level of intention because of this new insult giving us this opportunity. If the cast doesn't go above the elbow and you can actually move the elbow, I've got extra elbow moves. So there is, even in a casted state of any limb or a braced state, and it's like, man, this sucks. I can't do anything. Woe is me. I got to wait until PT. Wait till I get this off so I can do PT. Holy shit, no. You right now, moving your fingers and hand, moving your elbow, moving your shoulder, or if it's a foot, moving your toes, moving your knee, moving your hip, to a level greater than what caused the injury in the first place, to numbers that allow tissue change and responses body-wide. Then you also train the rest of the body to support the new level of function and strength and resiliency that damaged limb is going to have. Otherwise, the rest of the body's not going to be able to keep up with that. And you can, if you do this right, when they cut off that cast, that hand, that arm, that forearm is bigger, stronger, more tensile, resistant. The only thing that's lacking on it is it doesn't have a suntan because you couldn't do that. That's it. But how many of you have had casts on? You get them cut off and it's just this sick, gross noodle of a limb because we followed their orders. This is exactly how it should be done. So that when you have these injuries, they are absolute opportunities. So that when you get out of the boot or the cast, or when that cast comes off, or when you're done, or when you have an opportunity to go ahead and one, be more aware of what your body is doing. Hey, be more aware of what your body is doing. Pay attention to an area that was clearly weak. Pay attention to, like, now that you're feeling this injured area, how you doing all these other moves play into that. I say all the time in my Zoom plans, be aware of what the injured area, how it's involved in everything you do in this plan. And so that's it, an awareness of body. So if we do it right and you strengthen tissue-wide, toes to thumbs, and everything elevates with every injury, you get better and better and better. So you damn well welcome injury. So when I'm sitting here and an email comes through, I'm like, holy shit, what an opportunity. You're casted, you have a broken hand or a broken wrist or a broken, oh my God, let's go. You right now, and for the most part, you have this like symbol on your hand that tells like people, spouses, jobs, all this other stuff to back the fuck up. Like, give me some room and let me process this. And if you do it right, if you're on like a sports team or something like that, or you got to pull away from pickleball or whatever other shit, you get to like take a break from the non-training world that you keep existing in, which is fun, but again, it's not training. It's an expression of the training that you do, your body's ability to do the things that you train yourself with. So you have this opportunity, thank you. You have this opportunity to pull back and almost take a break from some of these other obligations that some of these other people might expect of you. That's no time to rest. That's time to actually pull away from the shit that really kind of doesn't really matter, and you can ramp up your inputs into your body, the stimuli into your body, so that you can take your system, take your tissue, teach your body to be more resilient, more resistant, more manageable in the face of force, physical, chemical, emotional, all of it, and rise to a level up. Shit. I mean, I get excited when I hear about injuries, because if you do it how a human is supposed to heal, if you rehab how a human is supposed to rehab, if you train how a human is supposed to train, and I think you guys are getting the idea on what I consider training, every square inch of you, every ounce of your life just improved. And I'm going to give you a case study. He's following on here. His name's Levi Hall. He's a dude that took everything in from what I've been doing in my office, in the laughing face of his family, in the face of teammates, in the face of coaches. Oh, you're doing all that crazy Tommy John shit. Okay. He wasn't wowed because he was dazzled by my words. He just never heard it before. So he's like, damn, this sounds interesting. I'm not going to write it off. Yeah, let me just see what happens. And then he goes and he tests it personally. And what happens with natural laws and principles? They're always right. So is it TJ's always right? No. But as long as I follow natural principles and laws, I'm always going to be on the better end of things when it comes to this stuff. So he's challenged it. I think he's coming up on his 5th or 6th year. He takes notes every time he's in. He's changed his life from an emotional standpoint, relationships. He went through stuff over this last break and observed how he's handling life. He's just taking it all in. Now, this cat, I can't say enough good things about him because he's just getting started. If I had this shit back when I was 21, too, Jesus. But he broke his hand, had a cast. He did not miss a beat. Kept his appointments with me. But that's not where the magic is. The magic's on your own. So this dude on his own ramped up everything on his own, intensified everything around his hand. I think he could bend his elbow, move his hand. He did so much work. When the cast came off, tissue was beautiful. His forearm was thick. And then what does he do? Like a week after being out of the cast, he sets the grip strength record in my office for his age group, which he beat himself. So his grip strength went up after his hand was in a cast after he broke it. Like, that should be the way it is for everybody. And don't give me this age bullshit. Anybody. This is programmed in all of us. That's the possibility. If somebody's not speaking to you like that, leave them if you've hired them. If they don't get it. Now, I understand it sounds like I'm from Mars initially because society is saying the opposite. We all know, watch this. Boom, thank you. No fear. Let the car bounce off of me. Society's drowning all over. It's gotten worse than I've ever seen in 20 plus years of practice. So to compare what the majority are doing or ask around like, hey, what would you do? Just poll what they would do and do the opposite. Really, what do you have to lose? Can you get any lower? Could things be more fucked up? So again, don't take my word for it. Hello. Don't take my word for it. Just think about what I'm saying. Next time you have an opportunity with an injury or some insult, or you're casted, or you're in a brace or a sling or something like that, take that as an opportunity to absolutely change everything and level up. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to injuries. So we should be so fortunate. We should be so, grateful to have these opportunities for our bodies to tell us, hey, here's a broken fucking bone and some pain. You're not ready for this environment. Don't ever go in this environment or get me ready, but I'm going to grab you by the neck and choke you out. Spirit, here we go. That's the dance. That's the communication. That's the story. That's the relationship, man. And it's the most powerful relationship, if not the most important relationship we have on this planet, is with ourselves. All right. Looks like you guys have a lot to think about when it comes to injuries, especially casted injuries. All right. Time to get my Dakine travel bag. Oh!